looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long 7 days since our last round in Spain. I hope everyone's doing well today. Welcome to Fox's Racing League, FRL as it's affectionately known here. You are joining us for Split 2 action, and we are going to be jumping in today in Emilia, or as it's better known, or if you want to do the proper name, Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari. One of the crown jewels, in my opinion, that came out of the pandemic known as COVID-19. And we were able to get a lot of great racing here in the real F1 calendars with corners like Ravazza, Tamburello, Posa, Acqua Minerale, Variante. Just, it's a beautiful track. It's set up in the gorgeous Italian hillside, and I love it. NFRL always has fun here. We've been here several times in the past. Where we have been in the past has been great, and now we're going to jump on board here. The cars are out on track for quali. Hope everyone's having a good day. My name's Brad. I'm going to be your commentator through both splits here. We've got Split 2 and Split 1 coming at you. Split 2 here. Split 1 follows immediately after the Split 2 race. Split 2 last week. Let's talk about it for just a second. Spanish Grand Prix. We had Kier 21, a reserve driver, who came in and won. And then Maku. Both drivers were reserve drivers for Haas. And those were our P1s, P2s. You had Juro, who came in P3. Our current points leader, Radislav Kampa, came in P5. Marios. Marios and the Williams came in P4. And then Kampa was P5. P6 ended up being Kushor. I don't think we have any big penalties or anything for this week. Let's double check with the decisions there from last weekend. There was the report, Andre on Marios, no further action was taken. We had a few things for just wrong numbers and people not taking part in check-ins. Nothing crazy to write home about from the results for Split 2, but it was a gorgeous race in Spain. Absolutely loved it. Driver of the day was Andre. Fastest lap was Baran. We've got Baran here. We do not have Andre racing this week. So that should provide some good action here as we see the drivers are starting their laps going through. This is Kushor we're looking at going through Acqua Minerale, which is turns 11, 12, and 13 on this 19-corner circuit. You see Kushor is fairly comfortable so far from what I can tell. There he goes through Variante Alta, heading down towards Ravazza. This is just such a fun track, and these are short laps. Of course, this is the home of Ferrari, so I'm looking for a big performance from Gamer this week as the Ferrari representative here in Split 2. And also, hey, Ferrari in Split 1, I hope to see some good action. Of course, this track has been around since 1953. It's one of the few circuits that actually runs in a anti-clockwise direction. It's named after Enzo Ferrari and his son Dino Ferrari. Before Enzo's death, it was called Autodromo Dino Ferrari. And again, as I said, one of the crown jewels that came out of the COVID-19 pandemic, was a great addition to the calendar and absolutely was just beautiful to watch because it brought us in some really, really good action to fill out 2020 whenever F1 was able to go back racing and bring everything through. Times are coming down pretty considerably as we watch on track here. We've got Radoslav Kepa at a 116.4, Marios 117.0, Nathan at a 117.2. So we're going to keep our eyes on Nathan and definitely see what Nathan can produce for us. Nathan just joining us in the Portuguese Grand Prix and has been pretty fun to watch so far as a driver in the AlphaTauris. Let's see here. So last time we were in Emilia, just to give you a little bit of a reminder of the last time that happened, was Season 5. And in Season 5, fastest quali lap was a 1:14.6. That was, of course, back in F1 21, though, so things were slightly different with the cars. Gamer, I need you to represent Ferrari well here. Everyone's a Ferrari fan, even if you say you're not a Ferrari fan. I love this run down the hill here going towards, that is Ravazza. That's such a fun little run down the hill because it is downhill braking, a double left-hander. And then we come through here, what is called Variante Bassa. And then you have Variante Tamburello. Of course, we've seen some good crashes here on both FRL and in real life. Valtteri and George. Any reminders, anyone there? Here we go through Villeneuve, and now we're going to hit the left turn known as Tosa, or turn 7, depending on how you know it. And now we continue down up the hill here. This corner is called Piratella. Fun fact, and you can't go wide like that, or maybe you can. I thought that would have been track limits. And then here's Aqua Minerale, one of my favorite corners in Formula One. I feel like I say that about every track. I feel like every track I've got a corner that I call my favorite corner in Formula One. Here we go through Alta, another Variante as it's known. And now we just have the run down and a slight right-hander here, and then this gets us to Ravazza. Come around the double left-handers here. And now flat to the line or into the pits. Radoslav Kepa is coming down towards Ravazza here, and we'll keep our eyes on that and see if Radoslav Kepa improves. And of course, if you are new here to FRL and you're interested in joining, definitely check out our Discord, and there's information for how to sign up there, and the link is in the Twitch chat. So jump in, join our Discord, give us a follow here on Twitch, subscribe if you feel so inclined to. We do genuinely appreciate it. Everything helps the league. It helps us improve our production, improve our races, and make things run better for everyone to enjoy. This is Marios going through, down just a little bit there in the middle sector, and you can see running very wide. Gamer 2021 in the Ferrari has retired out of the session with 9 minutes left to go. So the best position we'll see out of our Ferrari driver, sole Ferrari driver here in Split 2, is going to be a P10. Marios is into the pits there, and then that is going to open up for Kubu and Juro to run down. And that was the Alpine behind, and who was that? Was that Velix or was that Kushor? That was Velix losing it coming out of Ravazza, and unfortunately for Velix, it looks like Velix got away with that one, didn't DNF out. Those tires, though, are going to be scuffed, so I would say... Yep, straight into the pits there for Velix. Velix will get it together and then come back out. And was that a DRS disabled call I just saw? Or am I making something up? And we have another driver retiring out. That is Cezanne that has retired. So Cezanne only his second race here in Split 2. And you can see the raindrops are starting to fall. So I think Maku, who is currently on an outlap, surprisingly, is probably locked in here for provisional pole. I'm going to imagine times are not going to improve as we sit and watch. You can see Maku just slipping and sliding around. Celebration donuts? Potentially. Can I blame him? Not at all. I would be doing the same thing right now if you were able to get on and put in a 1:15.9, 0.6 of a second up on Maku there. And now we're going to see drivers. At this point, 7 minutes left to go. It's laps for the sake of running laps. If you're new to FRL, I want to welcome you in. The drivers run one 18-minute qualifying session and then a 50% race. So, and weather is set on random, which for these drivers seems to be very, very unfortunate right now because no drivers, I would imagine, are going to be able to improve up with DRS being disabled and the rain starting to come down here with 6.5 minutes left to go. And there is Pafixian spinning out very, very hard through. I bet the drivers are not thrilled with where they currently find themselves. Pafixian, even with DRS disabled, and you can see the water starting to build on the track, is still out there on soft tires. And I would say Pafixian is probably going to be diving to the pits right here. Of course, again, weather's random, so it could be a wet race. It could be a dry race. We never know. So we'll see what the drivers are able to do. Baran is out on soft tires and actually seems to be handling halfway decent, which is kind of impressive to me. A little bit of a flick of the rear end there just to see how the car is handling. And we'll watch the lap times between Baran and Marios and see where things go through. Look at the times. Everyone basically took a one-shot quali. And that was where things were. So now I think we're going to see 5 minutes of a very, very relaxed track here as Baran is diving into the pits. It looks like that might have just been a siding lap. I'm not sure. And now we'll see how the times differ here with Marios going on a hot lap on intermediate tires, and we'll ride on board with this lap. You can see there, Williams, the only car that has the dashboard off of the steering wheel, which is always interesting. You got to avoid the sausage curbs there. They can kick you out very wide. Pretty clean there through Marios. Maybe a little too much sausage curb for what should have been taken there. And now we are coming through into Tosa. And we'll see just how different the lap times are for these drivers as we go through. You can see already at 45 seconds and just now hitting the halfway point of the lap. And then Aqua Minerale, I would imagine we're going to see a couple of incidents there as the as the race goes through, because that is a fairly tight corner, especially when drivers try to use it as a passing opportunity. You can see Mario's there, very, very, very light with the throttle, holding onto it there. And now we have the run down towards Ravazza. Flat to the line here. What is Mario's going to put in? Provisional pole is a 1:15.9 and it's a 1:23.2. So the track is lost. The quali session is cemented, and at this point it is laps for fun and laps just to be comfortable with the car in the wet. So we've got Gamer, Tipove, and Cezanne that are out of the qualifying session here. And as far as I can tell, unless some drivers find a lot of time on intermediates, which based on what we just saw there, I don't think is going to happen. We've got Maku, Radislav, ooh, Baran. That is not how you warm up your tires on an out lap. All right, now that Baran has given me a slight heart attack here, let's talk about our drivers. Maku, Radislav Kepa, Baran, Marios, Kushor, Franek, Nathan, Kubu, Spaghetti Mafia, Gamer Tipove, Juro, Velix, Cezanne, and Pafixian are going to be our 15 drivers on the grid from what I can see. And I don't expect any sort of improvements here with 2 minutes to go, but the drivers are going to go out and run laps anyways, which I don't blame them. I would be doing the same thing. And now Marios has retired out of the session. I believe that is Marios calling it in the pit lane there. Now, like here, we've got Baran, and I believe that is going to be Kushor right in front of him there that is being followed. So that's a fun little group there. P3 and P5 following each other. And just running a couple of spotter laps, getting comfortable. Just a couple minutes left here, and I can't say I blame them, because one of the things that you prepare for, but it's, oh, and Kushor getting a big snap of oversteer there coming through. Where's he at on the track? Okay, he's at, what was that? The Alta? Variante Alta? I believe that's where he was. So, big snap of oversteer there. You got to watch out for the curbs. And now Kushor is going to go into the pits. And we'll jump on board here with Baran. Again, 8 seconds the time delta between a dry run and even an intermediate tire run. And as the checkered flag falls on qualifying here for split 2, it is going to be Maku, who has stayed in the pit lane. It brings it home for pole with a 1:15.9, a great quali lap there when the track was still dry. Kepa in P2. Baran will bring it home P3, still out running some spotter laps here, getting comfortable. And you can see going very slow on this final lap. Kushor, P5. Franek will be P6. Marios is in P4. Nathan in P7. Kubu, Spaghetti Mafia, and Gamer 2021 are going to round out our top 10. We've got Tipove in P11. Juro in P12. Velix, Cezanne, and Pafixian. So 15 drivers starting here in split 2. As we watch The last drivers come across the grid here. Freinig will come across, and that will finish Freinig's qualifying session. We've got Nathan, who will be coming through right now. That is going to be coming into Ravazza. You can see just comfortably pushing there, not trying to do anything crazy, and Nathan will dive it into the pit lane and call it. And I believe Nathan is our last driver that needs to cross the line here for this qualifying session to be official. And that should be it for us. So overall, fairly uneventful qualifying session. Ferrari in P10 at their home race. Not where they would have wanted to be, and now we just wait for the session to time through. Imola is such a fun racetrack, though. It is one that you have to enjoy, and interviews between the races, the drivers said the same thing. I know Ferrari in Split 1 said it's the home race, so this is where we are seeing everything, and they are shouting Forza Ferrari. We'll see if Gamer's able to make up some time here into the race. We'll see if Maku's able to bring things through and continue domination there. 0.48 seconds separating the top two, and then another 0.6 back to P3. So pretty significant gap out of the top three. Everybody else seems fairly close together. Stick with us here for just a minute. We'll be right back, and we'll have a great race underway for you. And as the lobby is starting to come back into play here, we get set up for our scene of a 15-driver race here in Imola. 3.0 miles, 19 corners, anti-clockwise track. You've got 12 turns to the left, 9 turns to the right. Gorgeous, gorgeous track. 3,500 meters of straights. And super, super fun race. We're currently waiting on the drivers just to start up, get setups loaded, and everything will be ready to go. Looking at some of the fun facts about the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari. Apologies to any Italian FRL fans, as I do horrible at pronouncing that. Is that Imola was the venue for the San Marino Grand Prix between 81 and 06, where the Italian Grand Prix took place at Monza. And then the Italian Grand Prix was hosted in 1980 in place of Monza. And then, of course, there's been 3 different names for racetracks. And as we get set up here, I can tell you right now that it is a cloudy racetrack that we are going to be on, which should be very interesting to see. And we've got 20 seconds to the green lights. Of course, no formation lap here in Season 7, which is very unfortunate. But we get all of the fun here of a nice run start. And now we jump on, and it's 5 red lights, and we are going to be underway here for Split 2. And look at the run there on the outside that Marios has gotten. And we're already 3 wide as we run down towards the first set of turns here into the Variante Tamburello. That is Maku who's gotten away well. Radislav Kepa is back up to P2. That is going to be the Alpine there, I believe, of Topave through. Gamers dropping way back. That is a McLaren that's ran off there, Frantic. And we've got some carnage right off the beginning here. Radislav Kepa holding on there for P2. Marios into P3, P4, Baran, Kubu P5, Frantic, Spaghetti Mafia, Topave, Spaghetti Mafia, and Frantic battling it out here. And that is going to be going around the outside of Toza, and Spaghetti Mafia will hold on to P6 there. Side by side is Pafixian and Topave. Which one of these two is going to come out? And on the inside there's Pafixian. Pafixian holds on to it. And there's Topave and P9. P10 is Velix. Kushor trying to put a little bit of pressure there on Juro. Juro able to get past there. And we have a yellow flag, Sector 2. I believe that is going to be Kushor who has went off the track. Cezanne and Gamer dueling it out here. Passing each other there. Gamer's able to get through. And now Juro and Nathan battling it out. Juro up into P11. And as we make the run down to Ravazza for the first of 32 times, it seems like things might be settling down just enough. Pit stop strategy powered by AWS is a medium to hard or a soft medium run. And let's do the grand reveal for who is on what tires here. Everyone's on mediums, a few drivers on hards. Of course, it is fairly cloudy. I don't know if rain's coming or if rain is going. So that should be interesting to see how things work out there. Checking in with the front of the grid here, Maku has a 1.3 second gap on Radislav Kepa. Marios is in P3, 6/10 of a second back. Baran is 3/10 back from there. And so your front six are all within a second of the others. So once DRS is enabled, we should see a little bit of action. Of course, there is only one DRS zone here in Emilia, and it is down the main straight. And now look at there in the back. That is Spaghetti Mafia and Kubu getting a little side-by-side action, running down towards Ravazza for the second time. This is a fairly short lap. And now Spaghetti Mafia up into P5. Spaghetti Mafia looking to make a big impact here on this race. Spaghetti Mafia is currently P20 in the driver's standings with 2 DNFs and not starting the past 2 weeks. Kubu is side by side there with Spaghetti Mafia running into Tamburello, and Spaghetti Mafia is able to hold on to it. Kushor picking up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Very unfortunate and not what that driver is going to want to see this early on into this race. Now we're continuing to watch here as Kubu runs through Aqua Minerale and has a fairly good run there on Spaghetti Mafia and is staying very close. You can see a little bit of a break there, trying to look for opportunities to get passes done. As we see opportunities for passes done in the background there, Velix and Topave side by side coming through the Alta down towards Ravazza. Still side by side heading towards Ravazza. Which one of them is going to settle in? And it looks like that is going to be Topave who settles in for P10, but is now going to be under pressure by Juro in the Alfa Romeo. And now Nathan is going to have a little bit of a run as well. Pafixian here right on the rear wing of Kubu as they run down towards Tamburello, but not able to convert anything, but still extremely close. I mean, look at just how close he is here as Pafixian thinks about a dive towards Villanova, going towards Tosa. Doesn't make it past, but has a very good run. Again, still thinking about making that pass, and then backs out of it. Gets a little too much curb there and gets very, very loose. That's going to open up the door for Frantic to try to have a run now on Pafixian. Pafixian now having to back up a bit there. Curb a little bit slippy, and it caught him out. Nathan right on the rear wing here of Juro. Juro going very wide there, and Cezanne behind them picks up a penalty for quarter cutting. Nathan P11 at the moment, trying to chase down Topove and P10, and we've got Marios in P3 trying to chase down Radoslav Kepa. Maku is 1.1 seconds up, comfortably in the lead there on those sets of hard tires. Of course, did win out provisional pole by half a second. So we'll see if Maku is able to run away or if the gap stays fairly consistent all the way through. Starting on lap 5 of 32. All the drivers are on medium, so I would say we won't see pit stops for a good while come into play. Of course, safety cars can flip everything on its head here as Baran puts in a purple sector 1 here, which is a very impressive time there following his teammate Radoslav Kepa through. So will Baran try to think about passing his teammate? Will Aston Martin play any team orders here? Aston Martin do lead the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship here in FRL at the moment, and they lead against McLaren by a astonishing 38 points in the drivers, and it's 25 points the gap between Nekshak and Radoslav Kepa. Baran is 23 points behind his teammate. So will Aston Martin try to play any team orders here in order to try to gain the most points? Will they say, all right, well, Baran has more pace, let's swap it out. If Baran can't get the pass done, we swap back for the Drivers' Championship. I don't know if we'll see any of that there. Pafixian now able to get past Franick in the run towards Ravazza there. That was for P7. As we start lap 6 of 32 here, things are settling down just a little too much, and these drivers like to keep things very, very interesting here. We've got Kubu, Spaghetti Mafia dropping way down the order there, and what happened to Spaghetti Mafia? Spaghetti Mafia spinning there in Tamburello, but it looks like back underway, but Spaghetti Mafia losing out big time now, down into P11, was running in the top 5. However, should be plenty of time left in this race for Spaghetti Mafia to try to make a move here and try to get running back up. That does open up things for the likes of Kubu, Pafixian. Kubu 6.6 seconds back on Marios, and Marios, Baran, and Radoslav Kepa are dragging each other through. Radoslav Kepa's been able to cut the gap down to under a second now on Maku, so this battle up here at the front is continuing to heat up and continuing to move forward every lap, little by little. Jumping back here with Nathan. Cezanne picking up another 3-second time penalty for corner cutting here. Nathan is half a second back on Velix, who is half a second back on Pafixian. And then you've got Juro 0.3 of a second behind Nathan. So this battle should be pretty spicy. And now you've got Velix and Pafixian. Pafixian, it looks like, going into the pit lane very early here, lap 7, and you see into the pit lane for a set of hard compound tires. So Pafixian opting for a very early pit stop and a long run through, and there is a front wing change going on as well for that Mercedes Silver Arrow. Of course, Pafixian, a well-known driver here in FRL, runs the number 43, not to be mistaken with the number 44. And now Pafixian exits out of the pits all the way back in P12, jumping back here at the front of the grid. As the grid's very spread out now, you can see Pafixian just now exiting the pits. The drivers in the lead are running through Variante Alta, so we may see some lap car action even come to play as these drivers go. Radoslav Kepa 0.7 of a second, his teammate just half a second back on him here as we go through for lap 7, about to start lap 8. And it's been a very, very quick 8 laps that we've seen. Sun is starting to poke its eyes out here. Of course, we did have that rain in quali, and now we are starting to see the track light up here. And the race should help these drivers out considerably with grip as we see the run here towards Tamburello, and everyone staying fairly slotted in. I don't see anything crazy happening at the moment. And I'm not trying to commentate or curse this at all, I promise. And as I say that, Radoslav Kepa there into Villeneuve goes off the track, out into the gravel trap, and now drops way back there into P4. and has Kubu now for company in P5 that may start trying to chase down. We've got Spaghetti Mafia off the track there coming out of Tamburello as well. And yeah, I wasn't trying to commentate or curse anything, but what did I do? Nathan coming through here in P7. Nathan is on fire so far this race, trying to chase down the likes of Velix and Kubu, looking for a top 5 finish today in that AlphaTauri. And if safety cars come out, I could see Nathan moving even further forward. Looking at penalties so far, Marios has a 3-second penalty. Cezanne has a 9-second penalty for corner cutting. Cezanne is going to have to reel it back in. Otherwise, Cezanne could be risking getting disqualified. And then Kushor, 5 seconds of time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Looking at the big winners and losers, Kushor down 8 places. Gamer down 8 places. Gamer out of this race now, and that was coming towards Aqua Minerale, and that is going to be our first safety car deployed here in FRL in this race. And I'm curious to know what happened to Gamer there, because that's a very unconventional place to spin coming through Piratella towards Aqua Minerale. So I'm curious to know if there was maybe some contact there, as I did see the timetable swapping between Frantic and Gamer. But that is going to open up our first safety car here on lap 9 of 32 here in Split 2. But I was looking at the big winners and losers. Baran and Marios are up a place as Radislav Kepa has dropped to P4 after that incident there in Tamburello. Velix up 7 places. Juro up 4. Cezanne Pafixian up 5. Frantic's down 5. Spaghetti's down 5, Topove down 2, Kushort is down 9, and as we can see, Topove and Kushort are both into the pits here, and it's the fresh, hard tires for Kushort, so these drivers are planning on long runs, it seems. And now the leaders are all going to filter into the pits here. We're 8 laps in. Maku's into the pits. Maku's on hard tires, opting into a set of mediums here. Baran, the long run down the pit lane near the end of the pit lane there for the Aston Martin, and goes in for a set of hards. So that is going to be interesting. Mario stays out. Velix is going to pick up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Marios is going to take over the provisional lead, which is an interesting decision here. I wonder if Marios is going to pit after everyone else. But as we can see, it's Marios, Maku, Baran, Kubu, Velix, Radislav Kepa, Nathan, Juro, Cezanne, Pafixian, Frantic, Spaghetti Mafia, Topove, Kushor, and Gamer is how our grid currently sits. So I'm looking at fastest laps. Kushor actually has the fastest laps. Getting Mafia onto a set of soft tires, which is very unusual when every other driver is on hard or our top 2 are on medium. So interesting decision there from Spaghetti Mafia. We'll see how that pays off in the long run, as the safety car is currently coming through Aqua Minerale and drivers are catching up here. I said a safety car would bring a lot of drivers into the mix, and I think we're going to see a lot of drivers get very brave on the restart that should be coming in a couple of laps time. I think we're going to see a lot of people get brave on the restart and see who is able to pull out some sort of miracle. That is Baran in the background there in P3, who is aggressively warming up those hard compound tires, trying to build some heat into them. That way can be comfortable for the rest of the race. And in theory, all of these drivers on hard tires, I don't believe will need to stop again. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But I think if you're on the hard tires and you just pitted for them, I think you're good to go to the end of the race. Looking ahead here in the FRL season at some of our future races coming up, we have Imola this week, and this is round 5 of 12. So our halfway point will be next week at Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi, in the UAE for the 12th of February. And then following that, the 18th of February, we do have our ACC endurance race, 8 hours of Barcelona. That will be brought to you here by our FRL Team B. FRL's has 3 teams representing us through for the league. We've got Team A that is going to feature Debe, and trying to go back and find our teams here. I had it saved. This is poor commentator preparation. Everyone forgive me, please, here. So we will have, it is Gris, Insidious, and Debe that are running Team A, and they will be running in the McLaren 720. You've got Bradley and Brad that are going to be running Team B. That will be the team that will be streamed here on the FRL Twitch channel in the McLaren 720. And then Jack and Graxon will be running the Porsche representing Team C. So that is 3 teams representing the Endurance ACC group here. And then from there, we run into the last half of our calendar here for Season 7, almost halfway done. It's hard to believe. We've got Miami, Jeddah, Austin, Singapore, Spielberg, and then ending any F1 season as you should in the proper way at Brazil, which I know I am personally excited about because I think an F1 season should be ended in Brazil. And now we are prepping for safety car in this lap. Safety car has ran through and given the way there for Maku to take over in the run towards Ravazza. Maku backing the field up very, very hard. Everyone's swerving, slowing way down, trying to get comfortable there. But Ron just holding the line, though, waiting to see when Maku tries to take off. And it's going to be Maku taking off there, coming out of Ravazza. And now we are back underway. Lap 12 of 32, 20 laps to go here in Imola, and Maku is through. That is a 3-second time penalty handed down to Topove for corner cutting. And now as we watch here, Radislav Kepa-Pafixian, Nathan dropping way back, losing a lot of time. That's the Red Bull there of Fazan making a very aggressive move up the inside there towards Tamburello. And now that is Pafixian who says, nope, thank you very much. I want to keep this place. Pafixian holds on to P7. Nathan drops down now again to P11. And look at that, almost 3 wide at one point as we go through Villeneuve. And now they settle down a little bit, I believe. Franek holding on to P9, Spaghetti Mafia P10, Nathan and P11 trying to get a run through, not able to get a run through, and now Spaghetti Mafia looking to pass Franek there. Spaghetti Mafia is on the soft compound tire, so does have a significant tire advantage. Topove is going to be out of the race there, coming out of Tosa. Doesn't look like there's a safety car deployed there, so I'm not sure what happened, but that might be a safety car for Cezanne, who just went off track very hard, has to put it in reverse, Terry, to get it back underway. And now as we come through lap 13, it looks like Topove's car has been cleared there, so no safety car as our leaders come down the main pit straight. and take us through to lap 14. Maku sets a fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1:18.7. Baran 1 second behind there. Pafixian now picking up a 3-second time penalty. Velix 7/10 back. Of course, no DRS 2 laps after the safety car comes out. So as of right now, it is drivers relying on pure pace. And pure pace we are seeing out of Pafixian in that silver arrow. Pafixian now sets off to chase down Radislav Kepa, who is currently 0.6 of a second ahead there. Now we've got Baran, who has spun there, and that is into, if I can catch him, that is in Toza. So Baran back underway, but way down the field now, all the way down into P8, losing some significant time there. Thankfully not hitting a wall DNFing, so able to get underway, maybe just some flat spots there on those hard compound tires. And now as we watch here, lap 14. Maku again punching in another fastest lap. I just noticed that the gap from Maku to Kubu is 5.7 seconds. So Maku effectively checking out here and taking off. Velix there trying to chase down Kubu. We'll have to see if they're able to work together to chase them down. We've got Spaghetti Mafia here, 0.7 of a second back. And then Marios is starting to catch up a bit there to Frantic, 0.3 of a second the gap there. Yellow flag, Sector 2, Sector 3. That is going to be for Cezanne, who has spun out of Aqua Minerale, it looks like. And now we have the rundown. And look at that. Radislav Kepa getting past Juro there with the help of DRS. And now these drivers are going to be in a very, very close battle the rest of the way through. Believe it or not, we have hit our halfway point here. Velix is half a second back on Kubu. We've got half a second between Radislav Kepa and Juro. Pafixian to Spaghetti Mafia. And then Baran is just 1/10 of a second off of Spaghetti Mafia there. As we see Baran up the inside there on Spaghetti Mafia. So Baran now up into P7. Spaghetti Mafia P8. Spaghetti Mafia trying to fight back on the run towards Aqua Minerale. And who is going to be able to take advantage of it? Baran holds the line, holds on, and Frantic looking very, very feisty there. And that is a big tap in the rear end. Everyone goes very defensive there, and that is Baran dropping all the way back after getting hit in the rear there by Spaghetti Mafia. What a weird run that was. That was a weird tap there on the rear end. I wish I could see a replay of that, but that knocks Baran all the way back into P12. And that is going to be Spaghetti Mafia into the pits there, having to replace the front wing as we see the drivers continuing to run down. And now we look at the gaps up front and this four-way battle here that it's turning into for P7. Marios on the outside here, Frantic on the inside. We've seen this before in real life, and things hold on there. Frantic stays in P7, Marios P8, Kushor 9, Nathan back in the back there in P10, also looking very feisty, trying to have a run. And now here is that run that I was talking about. Frantic getting past there by Marios on the run around Piratella towards Aqua Minerale. And now Frantic has to defend against Kushor. And we'll see here, as you can see, drivers going very defensive, looking around, and everyone stays single file going through Variante Alta, which is a very, very good decision from the drivers there as we continue to see the run down here towards Ravazza for the 18th time. And this battle is continuing to heat up. Spaghetti Mafia now retiring out of the session. It looks like spinning there in Piratella, and that is going to deploy our second safety car here in Split 2. And Cezanne picks up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Baran picking up a 3-second time penalty. So drivers, of course, reducing speed coming around. Will anyone pit here? We're halfway through the race, and the weather is continuing to improve. It's continuing to get warmer and sunnier here at the Emilia GP. And we do see some drivers opting for the use of the pit lane. Maku going in, putting on a fresh set of mediums. Kubu stays out. Radislav Kepa stays out. Juro stays out. Velix is into the pits there for a set of mediums and to serve a time penalty. Very smart decision there from the Alpine driver to go ahead and get that penalty out of the way. And now we see Pafixian in the other Silver Arrow. Maku's teammate on medium tires. Velix coming out on mediums. Martios on the mediums. Nathan comes out on mediums, gains a little bit of time there. Of course, Martios serving that penalty has to drop back a bit, and it looks like serving a full 5-second time penalty there. So now, as far as time penalties, we've got Pafixian with 6 seconds, Baran here with 3 seconds of time penalty, Martios with 3, and Cezanne with 17 seconds to the Red Bull driver's name. And Cezanne opting to come in now to serve some of those penalties. We'll see how far this sets back Cezanne. And Cezanne is almost a full lap down. Looks like Cezanne serving a 5-second penalty here. Red Bull Crews to work with a interesting tire choice there, going on to soft compound tires. Of course, Cezanne is currently up 2 places from where Cezanne started, so anything at this point is an improvement. Mario's very unfortunate, down 7 places. Kushor down 5. Nathan down 2. Baran down 5. Kubu is up 7. We've got Pafixian up 9 places from the start there into P6, and Velix is up 6 places. Frantic is showing provisionally up 1 place. Maku's down 3 from starting on pole, but Maku also on a second pit stop onto a fresh set of mediums, and then the top 3 are on 9-lap-old hards. Interesting that the top 3 opted to not pit and that Frantic opted to not pit, because Maku's going to be very, very fast on those new medium tires. 12 laps to go here in Split 2 as we come across the line under safety car, and Kubu running it very deep there. I'm really interested to see where things end up. Maku fastest lap 1:18.4. Everyone else is in the 1:19s or the 1:20s. So Maku's the only driver that's broken to the 1:18 so far, which is obnoxious time. Absolutely obnoxious lap time. How did Kushor end up off the track there? Was that a George Russell warming up the tires and dump it in the barrier? I believe it was. Safety car is in this lap, which means Kubu gets control of the field this time, and Kubu will back the field way up here going into Ravazza. And now, as we come around, when will Kubu opt to go? Kubu does get the choice to go whenever Kubu would like. And Kubu is going to go at the DRS line, it looks like. Did he catch anyone off guard here? I don't believe he did. We're back underway now. Lap 21 of 32 here in this split 2 race. You can see Maku having a dive there on those fresh medium tires, already taking advantage of the pace difference, trying to go around the outside of Giro, gets pushed into the sausage curbs, and that is Velix who has spun there. Velix is now out. Marios is into the pits under green flag, which is very weird. Velix is out there in the Tamburello. And it looks like at the moment we are down to 11 drivers that will finish this race. And that is side by side there. Maku on Pifixian. Maku now trying to go around Frantic as well there. Going up the inside of Piratella, heading towards Aqua Minerale. Easily gets it done there on those fresh medium tires with the pace. And now Pifixian is going to have his chance to go after Frantic as well. And will Pifixian be able to take advantage of this? Pifixian with the pace and grip difference on those fresh tires. Slings it around the outside there. Variante Alta stays side by side. Frantic goes a little bit wide there. Now Baran is going to slip up the inside as both drivers make pretty serious errors there, and now it's a drag race here down towards Ravazza. Pifixian on Frantic. Frantic is going to settle in for the position there. Of course, no DRS for 2 laps after the safety car. We've had 2 safety cars so far in this race. It is a possibility that we have another. Cezanne picking up another 3-second penalty for corner cutting there, which is really weird to see for where they're at on the track here. Frantic trying to chase down Baran, trying to chase down Nathan, and Pifixian trying to chase down the trio here for what is P5 up for contention. Of course, keep your eyes up front there. Maku on Radislav Kepa on Kubu, and that battle will probably heat up as the race continues here. Pifixian looking and thinking about a pass down the inside. Pifixian going for the pass down the inside of Toza, and now it's a drag race out heading towards Piratella, and which one of these drivers comes out ahead? Pifixian in the Silver Arrow is able to come out ahead. They're into P7 now. Frantic on the 16 lap on hards just didn't have the grip or pace advantage in order to get the pass done. They head through Aqua Minerale again, and Pifixian now thinking about trying to make a move there on Baran, and will he be able to make the move anytime soon? He'll have to look for a very, very good run through the corner. But I'll tell you who is making a good run through the corner there. Radislav Kepa on Maku. And Maku on Radislav Kepa there. Maku, of course, on the fresh medium tires, opting to pit. And Kubu, Radislav Kepa, and Juro opting to not pit. And now DRS is enabled. They won't get DRS here. And look at that. Snapping to the outside there, Maku does. And Maku is going to be there on the left-hand side. Has the run done easily against Radislav Kepa. Pace difference there and the grip on exit. So Maku is now able to set off and look for getting the lead against Kubu. Kubu picking up a 3-second time penalty there for corner cutting. And now as we continue to watch the drivers run through, we are on lap 23 of 32. We're under 10 to go, and here goes Maku up the inside on Kubu. Kubu isn't going to have the grip to hold on to it on those 13 lap on hards, and Maku is going to drag race all the way down the line here towards Piratella. Which one comes out ahead? And I'll give you the guess. It's going to be the Silver Arrow of Maku coming out here in P1 with 9 laps to go, including this one. Aqua Minerale is no problem, and now Maku just needs to settle in and run this race to the end. Let's jump back here. Pifixian, who is a 10th of a second off of Baran, So this battle is going to be very competitive as well. And that was Franick, I believe, that was parked off the side there of Aqua Minerale, but is able to get back going underway. And now we've got Pafixian on Baran. Pafixian goes up the inside there, and Pafixian P6, Baran P7, Franick in P8 trying to chase down, and now all of them are going to look to chase down Nathan in P5. 2.1 seconds the gap between Nathan and this battle here in P6. Baran Pafixian. Baran is now back around Pafixian. Pafixian's going to try to go the long way around here outside. Hold on to the outside there into the entrance of Villanova and goes through. Pafixian just sticks it back through. And here we go now. Pafixian, Baran, Franick battling it out here. Lap 24 of 32 as we continue to watch the drivers run. Now Nathan, 0.2 of a second back off of Giro as these three are battling it out for P6. Nathan is battling it for P4. Giro spins there in Aqua Minerale, and that opens up the gap for Nathan to go there, and Giro will fall all the way back to P8. I don't know if there was any contact there. The gap was fairly close, and Nathan is now going to set off to look for a podium finish here in FRL. And what is Nathan's third race with the league? Now we're lap 25 of 32. Nathan has DRS. Does Nathan have the pace advantage here? Look at Nathan slinging around the outside there. Brakes very heavy though. Gives Kepa the line. Backs out of it there. Smart driving coming from Nathan. Little conservative. Could have been a little more aggressive, I think. But knows that you have to survive another day in order to move forward. So Nathan there in P4 running through. And we'll see if Nathan is able to try to chase down for P3. Baran trying to chase down P5 and Pafixian. And you can see that battle just in the background starting to heat up. We lost 4 drivers through this race. Velik, Spaghetti Mafia, Topove, and Gamer. Gamer was our first driver we lost, and Spaghetti Mafia was our third. Those two caused safety cars. Velix and Topove we lost during the race restarts. Drivers pacing out very well here as they run through the Variante Alta, heading down towards the Ravazza for what is going to be their 25th time. 7 laps to go here at the line. And DRS is going to be open here for Nathan. Is he going to be able to get past Radislav Kepa here? And we'll see how close they get, as Radislav Kepa does have DRS as well on Kubu, which means Radislav Kepa does get a little bit of a pace advantage. But look at Nathan with the rundown. Nathan is determined to chase down Radislav Kepa and finish on the podium. And that, I believe, was a connection issue. That scared me for a second. I thought he just didn't brake for the corner. Nathan, slight internet lag there. That is the nature of the online racing. And as we watch here, Nathan 0.4 of a second back here on Radislav Kepa. It seems like Nathan gets a lot of straight line speed, but can't seem to follow through the corners from what I can tell just watching the gaps. Now continue to watch here, and that is Kubu that's had a poor exit. So Radislav Kepa and Kubu are now going to battle here, and that's going to introduce Nathan into the mix as Radislav Kepa goes very wide there. Nathan's going to dive up the inside. That is Pafixian getting in the mix as well. So this field here, all for P2, just bunched up very, very tightly, and Kubu is going to be bullied out of a position here, and that is going to be Nathan going around the inside there with DRS. Nathan now up into P2 in only his third race here with FRL. Kubu and Pafixian side by side. That is Pafixian having to go very, very defensive off the track there. Kubu's going to hold on to P3, Pafixian P4, Radislav Kepa P5, but Radislav Kepa is in the mix, and now look there. There's the other Aston Martin of Baran getting into the mix as well. So we've got a four-way battle here for P3. 2 drivers have penalty. 3 of the 4 drivers we're watching battle have penalties, though. So if Radislav Kepa can just keep his nose clean and stay close, we could see Radislav Kepa rounding out our podium. Here's Kubu and Pafixian as they run down towards Piratella, and that is going to be Pafixian getting ahead of Kubu now. And now Radislav Kepa and Baran are going to look to team together and chase down Kubu and Pafixian and try to get it past here. Aqua Minerale again. You can see drivers holding on to it there. A little bit of a snap from Baran. Baran, though, able to stay on, losing just a little bit of time there, about half a second or so. Kubu getting a little bit slippy there and dipping a wheel out into the grass. Not what you want to do when you've got 2 Aston Martins chasing you down that are both the drivers and constructors leaders right now. And now we start lap 28 here. Maku 5.1 seconds ahead. Nathan, Pafixian, Kubu is going to get passed here by Radislav Kepa. Is Baran going to be able to get a pass here? It doesn't seem so, but Kubu's going to go back on the defensive here. Thought about a dive up the inside, opted not to do that. So now Radislav Kepa up into P4, and you've got Maku, Nathan, and Pafixian are top 3 at the moment. Radislav Kepa, of course, if he can keep in touch there with Pafixian, could finish out in P3, depending on how penalties apply. Cezanne spinning there out of the final corner of Ravazza. Back underway, though, no issues that I can see. And this battle is going to continue to heat up here. As we watch here, Baran through Aqua Minerale has a fairly close gap there on Kubu. I'm not sure who is going to come. And now, as we start lap 29 of 32, 3 laps to go here, and Maku has checked out effectively with a 5-second gap for the lead. And now, look at this, though. Kubu under pressure by Baran again. This is going to continue all the way to the end of the race, I can tell. And I don't know who's going to come out on top here as we see Kubu Baran battling. And now, as they've battled, that's introduced Frantic into the mix here again. So that's the problem with battling here in these F1 cars is as you battle, you lose a little bit of lap time. That lets the car in front of you start to catch up. And then as the car in front of you starts to catch up, things get a little more competitive. And you start seeing what was a 1 or 2 driver scrap turn into a 5 or 6 driver scrap for position, and things can get very chaotic very quickly. As we're seeing a bit of chaos here as Baran is thinking about a dive up the outside here against Kubu, but opts against it. Maybe a little bit of contact there. I think Kubu had a very slow exit, and it seemed like a little bit of contact, or maybe it was just connection. Unsure here as we see Baran now looking around again. I think Baran should have a bit of a pace advantage here on Kubu as Baran gets a very, very clean exit. And Kubu's not going to have DRS this time to help as we see Baran staying tucked in there. He's going to push him wide. They're going to go side by side coming down to turn 1. Lots of space being given. And that is going to be Baran up into P5. Kubu now dropping from P3 to P6. And now Baran just has to set off on chasing down his teammate of Radislav Kepa, and now defending from Kubu and Frantic. So we went from a 1-car battle to now 2 cars battling for P5 here. And we'll see who is able to take advantage here and come out on top. Two laps to go here in this race. As we see Baran running through Aqua Minerale, you can see the teammate of Radislav Kepa there just in front, starting his turn towards Alta, just 1.5 seconds up the road here. Baran now picking up another 3-second time penalty. When you look at penalties, that's 6 seconds for Baran, 3 seconds for Kubu, and 6 seconds for Pafixian. So we are going to see a bit of a grid mix up there. Frantic just needs to stay in touch, and Frantic can finish as high as P4 here. Pafixian, our big winner of the day, up 12 places, currently sitting provisionally on the podium, but I feel will drop back just a bit here as things go through. Frantic on Kubu is now heating up, and Frantic ends up on P6, Kubu into P7. Of course, when you've got 25 lap old hard tires, making any sort of a pass is very impressive there. Marios going into the pits here. I don't know if that's a scheduled pit stop or unscheduled for the Williams, but going into the pits nonetheless, fitting on a set of soft tires. Is Marios going to try to steal the fastest lap here? That would be a brave move here. His fastest lap currently is a 1:18.4. Marios' fastest lap is a 1:19.4. So needs to find over a second in order to secure the fastest lap and get that extra point. And will he be able to do that is the question. We'll keep our eyes on that. But as our leader comes through and starts our final lap here, a comfortable gap of 7.8 seconds between Maku and Nathan. And things are, it seems like, settling down here for the final lap. Kubu is still trying to chase down Frantic there. 0.8 of a second. That gap continues to open up. Kubu just doesn't seem to have the ultimate pace that the other drivers do here. And that is Baran into the wall, losing his front wing there. Heading into, that would have been Toza out of the Variante Villeneuve. So Baran losing significant track position on the final lap. But now, as we see here, Maku coming down towards Ravazza for the final time, and Maku in dominating fashion, winning this round number 5 here in Split 2 by 9 seconds at the line. And now you've got Pafixian and Nathan, and that position is swapped there at the line. So Nathan will actually come home for P2 here at the line. Nathan getting a final lap pass done at Ravazza after, I believe, Pafixian possibly just sliding there. Pafixian's going to continue to drop back because of the time penalty. Puts Radislav Kepa in P3, Pafixian P4, Frantic P5, Kubu. Baran will come across the line, no front wing, to finish slowly sad P7 after what seemed to be a very, very dominating run through the race there. Juro will come across for P8, and then you've got Kushor, who is coming through, and Marios, who sets a purple middle sector. We'll watch Marios here and see if Marios is able to steal that fastest lap here at the end. This is Marios comes down. It looks like a very, very good lap time coming through Ravazza and comes around. Is it going to be enough to beat a 1:18.4? And it is indeed a fastest lap on the final lap of the race there for the Williams of Marios, stealing that fastest lap from Maku. Very, very impressive there. Pafixian driver of the day, up 12 places, finishing in P3. And here is going to be our grid to finish things. Maku, Nathan, Radislav Kepa, Pafixian, P4. I misspoke earlier. Frantic, Kubu, Baran, Juro, Kushor, Mario, Cezanne, our 11 drivers that finished. Of course, our DNF, the Velik, Spaghetti Mafia, Tipove, and Gamer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be where we round off Split 2 here with Week 5. Of course, next week being Abu Dhabi. And as we come through Abu Dhabi, that will round us off into our back half of the season. Stick with us here. We'll be back momentarily with Split 1. And it looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers.